So last night I made this mod. I put my white monster can on top of an FV. I thought it was pretty funny, you know, so I sent it in a couple of servers and some people asked me how I made it. So I'm going to make a quick tutorial, you know, showing you guys how to put like external 3D models on different tanks. I'm not too knowledgeable on this, I'm going to be honest. If you want a lot more in-depth tutorial, go watch Kems's one from like a year back, I'm pretty sure. Go watch his tutorial on it. It's very in-depth, goes into XML editing and all that, which I don't know. I'm just making this basic tutorial of what I know. And, you know, how to, you know, just put the external, you know, downloaded 3D models of the internet onto different tanks. Because some people will like that. And yeah, this one's going to be a short one. Okay. So you're going to need 3 programs to be able to do this. You're going to need Tank Exporter version 1.0.0.1.6. You need to make sure it ends with 146 because the latest one just doesn't work for some reason. You're also going to need the FBX Converter 2013.3, and you're also going to need Blender. Yeah, I'm using 4.4.3. It doesn't really matter which version you use of Blender. I'm pretty sure there's not going to be much difference unless they just do some major update and they change everything. I don't know. But yeah, I'm using 4.4.3. I will leave the download to all of these programs in the description, so go check that out. Okay, first up you want to do, you want to choose a tank that you want to mod. So I'm just going to recreate the mod that I made last night. So I'm going to go with the FV4005. There we go. You're going to want to right click on here and then click load this. Just click the default options. You know, if you want to edit, I mean, unless you want to edit the 3D styles that are already in the game, or you want to add some more stuff, or, you know, you can take some stuff as well from them. Ken shows how to do that in this video. Just select the default one though, because, well, I'm going to do that because that's the one that I'm going to be editing. Okay. Now this has loaded, you're going to go into export, extract, and then extract to res mods. But before you do this, you're actually going to want to make sure that you have selected your part of game folder and your part of res mods. Make sure that those are selected. So yeah, then you want to go to export, extract, and then extract to res mods folder. All available LODs. We're not going to edit the tanks icon, nor we're going to edit the item dev XML. And we're only really going to edit the turret, so you only want to export the turret data. So therefore, if you're going to edit the whole data, you're going to export the whole data. If you're going to edit both, you're going to do both. If you don't know which one you're going to edit, then just leave all of them there. I will say though that editing the chassis and the tracks requires you to do like different stuff because they have moving parts and Blender doesn't actually show you said moving parts. So it will just like hella glitch out your game if you try to edit them. So now you want to go here and then just click extract. Like so. There we go. Now you're going to want to go back onto export extract and then click on export FBX. And then just save this literally anywhere. I'm just gonna go into here, FBX export files, and then make a new folder, tutorial, and then just save it there. And then just leave these settings as default. And then yeah, obviously click start export. And now you want to go into the FBX converter because by default, World of Tanks use like FBX 2009. So Tank Exporter exports the FBX in, you know, FBX 2009. So you're going to want to go in here and convert it into FBX 2013 because Blender can't work with to FBX 2009 files. So then just leave everything as default. I mean, if you want, you can change the destination folder, of course. But apart from that, just leave everything else default and then click on convert. Okay, now that's done. You want to go into Blender, click A and then delete to delete all of this. Go into File, Import, FBX, find where you saved. Find where your converted file was saved in, then just open it. You'll see that some stuff pop up here, but yeah, you might not notice a change here, and that's because World of Tanks models are extremely small for some reason. So yeah, you're gonna need to edit like this. So you will need to, like I'll show you in a bit, you're gonna want to shrink down your external 3D models by a lot. Okay, now I'm going to go import the white monster can. And there we go. It might not appear that, you know, it might not appear that big. However, I'm going to delete this and now both of the parts appear hella big. Like so. There we go. Okay, so now it's, oh yeah. If you want to see everything's like texture in here, click there. And now you can see the texture. You may notice it's extremely shiny. This will not like change anything in the game. However, if you don't like to just look at the shiny effect, you can go into shading at the top here. Scroll in to find your tank. There we go. And then you just want to go one by one, click on like the turret for example at first, and then just bump up the roughness. Like so. And there we go. This will not make a change in game. This is just for visual effect if you don't like to look at the shininess of it. If you don't like to look at that shiny, the whole shiny shit, you know. Now I'm gonna get to rescaling this and making it small. I'm gonna make a 0.006, copy that, paste it like that, and then do the same here. There we go. That's just Control V. You can hover over that and click Control V, and then it just pastes neat trick there. And there we go. Now that both of them have been done like that, you're gonna want to drag it up. Now I'm just gonna, you know, adjust it. Actually, no. First, I'm gonna texture it. So I'm gonna go on the main can, go into the material properties here. Next to base color, click the yellow circle there. Change it to an image texture. Open, and then find your textures. So for me, it's monster can, low, AI, standard, surface 1, base color. Like so, and then it does that, and then for the tin part, I'm gonna do the exact same. However, just import the surface 2, and there we go. They are both now textured. Very nice. Now I'm gonna just move it and stuff so that it is where I want it to be. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect because, you know, it's just a tutorial. Now I'm gonna click on these two and then click Control G just to make them into one, like so. Okay, very nice. And now this is a very, very important part. Do not miss this out. You need to do this. You're gonna want to click on your external 3D model and then click Tab if you're in the layout window. It should open all of these UV stuff. So make sure you're in edit mode. It should come up like this. You're gonna wanna click Control and T. So now it makes everything into triangles. I don't know why, but water tank exporter and water tanks basically require your models to be made out of triangles like so. Otherwise, it just won't let you import it. So yeah, there we go. Now I'm gonna rename this into turret underscore monster can. Oops, get rid of that last little dash there. Alright, and yeah, basically that first part you want to change it to wherever you're putting the model. So like if you want to put like a camera net on the gun, it's going to be gun underscore camera net. If you're putting something on the hull, you're going to make it hull underscore. However, if you're putting like a machine gun on the turret, don't put turret underscore gun, because then the game will get confused, as this does work with suffixes and prefixes. However, I just prefer to have the module of the tank in the prefix. It just looks nicer for me instead of having it as a suffix. So yeah, that's just my way of organizing it. However, yeah, you can do like if I would do monster can underscore turret, that would as well equally as work. Okay, so now this is all done and dusted. I'm going to go into File, Export, and then FBX, and then just export it like so. Go into here, and then just do FEY monster. There we go. And export FBX. You don't need to edit any of the settings on the right there. And now I'm going to go straight to tank exporter, because you don't actually need to convert the FBX back to 2009, which is very, very nice. Okay, so now I'm going to go into File, Import FBX, go into Tutorial there, and then open the FE White Monster. And there we go. Sadly, I don't know how to change it. Like, maybe if like anyone watches this and knows how to do it. However, I tried earlier to make it like 2 different ones, and it just wouldn't work for some reason. Like 2 different objects, it just wouldn't work. So yeah, and this is how I made it last night. So yeah, I mean, if anyone knows how to fix this, then yeah, just, like write it in the comments or something, and then I'll probably pin it so that everyone else knows if they're making a similar mod to me. However, this is fine enough. I'm not going to be using the mod. This is just to, you know, showcase the very basics of it. And as you probably know, I'm not very like advanced at this. Okay, now that this is done, you're going to want to go into file settings and then right to primitive like so. Because we only edited the turret, we didn't edit anything else. We don't need to tick any other you know, boxes here. However, you do want to click on copy to LODs 1 to 4. And then you just got to click right file. And like so it works. And now let's launch the game to go check it out. Alright, as I don't actually have the FE researched, I'm just gonna go find it. It's actually here, and if you click it, and there we go. As you can see, we have the monster can on the FE, which I think is actually very cool. Oh, just like that there. There we go. As you can see, we have everything here, which I find very cool. There we go. Monster Energy Ultra. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. Go check out my Twitch, go follow that, go join the Discord and all that. You know, if you have any questions you want to ask me about this, then that's where you can find me and ask me in my Discord server. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I'll be back next time. And yeah, see ya, have a good one.